Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. This offense, y'all, is absolutely ridiculous. They are about as efficient as you can be, and I don't think it's ludicrous or disrespectful or any of that to start talking about this offense the way that we talked about the 2019 offense. Now, they're going to have to do it against some better teams. I didn't say they're already as good or they're going to get drafted as high I'm not going there. They got to do it against Alabama. If they were to get to Georgia or something, like, you'd have to do it there because the 2019 offense wasn't stopped ever. And so beating up on Missouri and, Ole Miss, Arkansas ain't gonna do it. But in terms of efficiency and playmaking ability and just putting up boatloads of points, like, this offense is approaching that type of level. They're not there yet, but they're really good. I mean, you look at these drives in the middle of the game. An 11-play, 44-yard field goal drive, 6-play, 45-yard touchdown, 8 plays, 61 yards down for a field goal, a 2-play, 45-yard touchdown drive. Then they get down and have that ridiculous disaster of a goal line possession where you get a holding, Jayden Daniels gets hurt, you bring Nuss in there, you got second and goal from the 16, you drop a snap, then there's a clap on the D, then you miss a 28-yarder. Like, there was a lot of weird stuff that went on down there, and it should have just been a touchdown when Jayden Daniels went into the end zone. But that's the one time you didn't get points, and that was a 64-yard drive that went 9 plays, and then back-to-back touchdown drives of 92 and 75 yards when you absolutely had to have them in the fourth quarter. It is absolutely clinical. And the thing about this offense that's so difficult for teams to deal with is that they're able to hurt you in so many ways. Jayden Daniels can crush you on the quarterback draw or when the play breaks down and he just extends it and outruns your linebackers to the corner and he's just a nightmare to try to deal with. They've got an elite number one wide receiver in Malik Neighbors, who's one of the top 5 or 6 wide receivers in college football. And they've got a number 2 who's playing awesome as well. Now, BT did have the one drop, but he had another touchdown, 66 yards receiving in this game. So they've got a 1-2 punch at wide receiver. They've got a great tight end. They've now got a running game led by a running back who is playing great. I mean, Logan Diggs, 24 carries for 134 yards. I don't know why they wanted to go to the ground significantly more in this game. I don't know if that's to try to help the defense out. I don't know if that's because they thought they could gash Mizzou at the point of attack. I don't know why they decided they were going to run it more than they were going to throw it in the game, but it was great because Logan Diggs averaged 5.6 yards per carry and went for $134 on the day, and then Daniels chipped in with 130 of his own. And then the thing that ties all of this together with the great quarterback who's a dual threat and can get the ball down the field, and 2 great wide receivers and a very good tight end and a running back that's found his way. The thing that ties all of this together is that the offensive line is absolutely kicking people's butts at the point of attack. You knew about the tackles, the 2 freshmen that are coming into their sophomore year this year, and you were very veteran on the interior. Well, then Charles Turner gets hurt, and you go to DJ Chester, a freshman, and he looks good. So it's a point that we were actually correct on in August when we were talking about this team, going, look, I think if they block, like, this is going to be a really good offense. And fast forward, here we are into the middle of October, they're blocking, and it's a really good offense. I mean, I have no doubt when they get the football that they're going to take it down and score. And Jayden Daniels has made that leap that we've been talking about. He has no issues throwing the ball down the field at this point. He's not one read and run. He's not depending on his legs too much. That was kind of what we were looking at last year. I remember very distinctly in the game against Southern last year, he takes a snap in the shotgun and there's a guy running wide open down the middle. I don't know if it was Booty or Neighbors. It doesn't matter. But the guy was running wide open down the middle of the field, and Jayden tucked it and ran. He ran for like a 25-yard touchdown. He made the linebacker miss and outran everybody to the pylon and scored. And you're sitting there going, oh, yay, touchdown. And I'm sitting there going, that's not going to work against Alabama. Like, you can't. You got to get the ball down the field. You've got to play with your eyes instead of just your legs. He's playing with his eyes. The only complaint I've got with Jayden Daniels at all at this point, it's singular. Slide. Run out of bounds. Stop getting crushed every time you take every game. Once or twice, he's getting hammered. You don't have to do that. Just get out of bounds. Get down. Had the rib injury, was clearly in pain. First time I've seen an LSU quarterback with that rib injury. So, well, I guess Miles had a rib injury, which is pretty significant. But Joe had the cartilage injury at halftime of the national championship game on that throw to Moss over the middle right before the half, and came back and played in the second half. But Brian Kelly was asked about it today. He said he's fine. He's going to practice. Should be a full go, and he should play. But man, that's the one thing you got to have his health, because he makes this whole thing go. I think Garrett Nussmeier's got a chance to be a really good college quarterback, but I don't think there's any question at this point that Jayden is the dude and a dude and in line for every single. If LSU was fielding a general LSU defense, if LSU's defense was as it usually is in the top 25 in the country in all your statistics, which is what good LSU defenses generally have done for the last 20 years, Jayden Daniels would be right there in line for the Heisman Trophy. That's how good he's playing. Now, that trophy oftentimes goes to players that are on really good teams. And LSU right now is a 2-loss team, which at this point in the calendar doesn't make you a great team. But Jayden Daniels is playing great. And I'll say this as we're removed from the emotion of a big game and we're moving forward into a new week. Like, LSU can beat everybody on their schedule. The defense is not good. It's not going to be good. They're going to give up a lot of points. But because of LSU's offensive versatility and their balance and their efficiency right now, I don't think there's a defense in college football that's going to shut them down. Now, you can drop the ball. You can get holding penalties, turn the ball over here or there. Jayden Daniels could get injured. I mean, things can happen by the time you get to Alabama, and A&M's defensive front's really good. And if you were to get to Georgia, and that's all down the road. But like, I don't know what you would do to really stop LSU. They've got a good offensive line that should be able to hold its own. You've got a great decision maker, an elite athlete at quarterback, and you've got really good skill position players that put a lot of stress on college defenses. And so it goes back to the point that I made right out of the chute here in the first segment, talking about the defense. Is like, this is what we're going to see every day, every Saturday. Games played in the mid-upper 30s into the 40s. That's just what this is going to take. And I don't think that Brian Kelly's going to want to do that very often moving forward, but at this point, you are what you are. You've got what you've got. And what you've got is a defensive secondary that doesn't cover very well, a defensive front that's not rushing the passer all that well, some youth at linebacker, and then an offense that's just firing on every cylinder it can fire on. It's entertaining, I'll tell you that. It's way more entertaining than watching those games in 2008 and 2009. It's up and down. It's back and forth. It drove us to the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, just game to game. But it is what you are, and LSU wins it 49-39. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.